Hi, in this lab 6 we were asked to design a ROM which stands for read only memory, and in fact it's a non-volatile memory. So um, we actually picked the size of our ROM based on the number of addresses we wanted to represent, and the number of addresses was 4, which is the first one is the typical number of toes on a dog's foot, which is 4. The second, the highest decimal number represented by a 2-bit binary number, which is 3. And the third one, please, sorry, is the Pythagoras constant, which is 2. And the fourth one, the number of colors in a rainbow, which is 7. So uh, every input, like since we are trying to represent to store 4 addresses, so we'll need 2 input, because 2 to the second gives you 4. That's the size that will be the size of our home, which means every input transition is responsible for a specific stored address. So for instance, when we have 00, we should have like our first address stored picture on a 7-segment drive, which is 4. And when we go with 01, we should have 3. And we go from 10, we should have 2, and 11, we should have 7. And this is how I picked my switches on my D10 Max. So this one I switch it obviously as switch 0, and this one switch 9. So obviously already at switch 00, at the state 00, switch 0 0, switch 9 0, we already have 4, which actually which is correct, because with 00 we have 4 as the stored number. And if we go to switch to state 01, so switch 0 at 0 and switch 9 at 1, so we have 3, which is correct. And if we go to 10, we should have 2, and 11, we should have 7. And the second question we will ask, if let me look at it. Yeah, if the modification in the logic circuit, there were 5 terms to store instead of 4, and the value of the 5th term still less than equal to 7. So definitely, since the value the 5th term is still less than equal to 7, so the only thing we'll have to do is to add one more input, because 2 to the third gives you 8. So with 8 we can actually obviously represent a fifth term and actually ignore the rest. We can represent from D0 to D4 and ignore the rest, like D5, D6, and D7.